So we have a little change on hole 1. Here's your rock 8. I will show you the rock 9 shot as well. You're going to do 4 backspin with 4 topspin on your rock 8. You're going to have the white ring touching the rough at the +1 yard mark, and then you're going to over adjust your shot with a +10% adjustment instead of a +20. So again, it's going to be a +10% over adjustment of your shot and not +20. At 332, we now know that it plays at 40% slider with a +20% over adjustment of your shot. So again, it's going to be at 40% slider with a +20, 5 backspin, 1 right spin, and then your yellow ring is going to be just before the fringe, and then you're going to find the funnel. Then you're going to adjust your shot with a slight 1201 pull. If you have a rock 9, you're going to do 4 right spin with 4 top spin as well, but your white ring is going to be in the rough at the 0 yard mark, and then you're going to take your shot with a +10% over adjustment as well. At 333, I played this at 35% slider with a +20% over adjustment. So again, at 333, you're going to play at 35% slider with a +20% over adjustment. 5 backspin, 1 right spin, yellow ring before the fringe, and then you're going to find the funnel. You're going to then favor a slight 1201 pull. For hole 2, we are playing with a power 1 win 5 ball side spin 3. You're going to be playing at 10% mid distance of your club with the power 2 and F. It works out to be about 1-to-1 minus 0.1. You are then going to do full left spin with about 0.6 to 0.7 top spin, and you're going to be aiming to the right edge of the pin. Your yellow ring is almost going to be touching the sand bunker. You are then going to pull at an 11:59 pull angle. Now there are 2 wind angles on this hole, and at the end of this shot I will show you both wind angles. Here you will be pulling at an 1159 pull angle, but it's going to be kind of favoring 1159. On the second wind angle that's more towards the middle of the W, you're going to be pulling at a heavy 1159 pull angle. This is our theory at least. For hole 3, we changed this completely, and thank you Peter Johnson for this shot. You can follow him and subscribe to his channel, and the link will be in the description below. Again, this is Peter Johnson's shot in the Bushwhackers, and his link will be in the description below. You're going to do 6 topspin, no left or right, favoring the left-hand side of the center fairway. Adjust your shot with a plus 10% over adjustment, no push-up, and then you're just going to take a regular shot. We are looking to get around the 395 range. No matter where you are at the fairway, you want to play at min sniper, so back your sniper up to min distance. You're going to do max right spin with 2 backspin, and then go along the min line, and then you're going to line your ball guide up to the hole. If your ball guide is going through the hole, adjust your backspin so that it is about 1 square short of the hole, then realign with your max right spin so that it is pointing at the hole about 1 square short of the hole. You will then adjust your shot at min sniper with a plus 10% over adjustment, and you are going to pull as straight as you can. Again, thank you to Peter Johnson and the Bushwhackers for this shot. His link will be in the description below, and I suggest you highly go check him out. Again, for the drive, you're going to be using 6 topspin, no left or right spin, and you're going to be aiming down the left-hand side of the center fairway. You are then going to adjust your shot with a plus 10% over adjustment of your shot, and then do not push up to max and take a regular shot. If you do not have an APOC 6, you could probably get away with a Thor 6 and probably pushing up to max with full topspin. I am unsure of that shot, so you will have to play around with it to see if it will get you to the 395 range distance that we are looking for. Here I drove 396, and again we're going to do full right spin with 2 backspin, go along the min line, and then we're going to line our ball guide up to the hole. Adjust your backspin if needed so that your ball guide is just about a square short of the hole, and then you're going to over adjust your shot at min distance with a plus 10% over adjustment. For hole 4, there are 2 additional shots that we would like to share with you. The third one is on the Facebook page as well. Here we are going to be playing with our Kingmaker. You're going to be doing 3 left spin with 1 top spin. You are going to be playing this at 95% slider of your club with a plus 25% over adjustment. You're going to have your red ring by the rough, and you're going to look for the sticky spot. So there is a little sticky spot there, and it's just to the left of the cup. You are then going to adjust your shot with about an 1159 pull. So again, this is playing at 95% slider with a 25% over adjustment of your club. Again, all these shots can be found on the 19th hole expert tournament page, and the link will be in the description below. For the second shot, it's the no moving target shot. So do not move your target whatsoever. You're going to be playing with a power 2 Win 5 ball, 3 left spin, 2 top spin. Do not move your target, and then you're going to adjust at max distance with a plus 25% over adjustment of your shot. For hole 5, the tweak that I'm doing is I'm turning my screen to align with the wind, and then doing max right spin and 1 to 1.5 bars of backspin depending on the wind. I'm putting my inner white ring next to the rough as my screen is turned. I am then adjusting my shot with a plus 10% over adjustment and then pushing up to max. My curl is now at the end of the triangle instead of having a gap. So again, a slight change to make it great left and great right proof, as I have hit great left and great right and have been fine. Again, I'm going to turn my screen to align with the wind, and then I'm going to put my inner white ring touching the rough on the right. Max right spin 1 to 1.5 bars of backspin depending on the wind strength. Below 11, I would do 1 bar of backspin. So here I'm putting the inner white ring next to the rough as my screen is turned. I then adjust my shot with a plus 10% over adjustment, push up to max, and then my curl is just on the outside of the triangle. For hole 6, you can use the rock shot or the quarterback shot. I will show you the quarterback shot after this. You're going to be doing with the rock shot full left spin with 1 to 1.5 bars of backspin depending on the wind strength. The higher the wind, the more backspin you're going to use. You're then going to adjust your shot with a plus 15% over adjustment at maximum distance of your club, and then you're going to do just so your outside of your ball is just to the outside of the ring for your curl, or just before the outside of the ring of your curl. Then you're going to try to hit perfect. But again, the higher the wind, the more backspin you're going to need to use. For the second shot, we have figured out that if your white ring is near the rough on the left, we are going to be playing this at a minus 30% over adjustment of our shot. If you are where the blue ring is touching, you're going to be playing it with a minus 20% over adjustment of your shot. So here she did spin to go above and to the left of the pin, about 3 to 4 bars of top spin, and your left and right spin will vary depending. Her white wing was near the rough, so she adjusted this shot at max distance with a minus 30% elevation. So if your blue ring is touching the rough, you're going to be using a minus 20% over adjustment. For the quarterback shot, you are going to be using full left spin with about 1.5 bars of top spin. You're going to have your red ring halfway into the rough on the left, and then you're going to over adjust your shot with a plus 10% over adjustment, and your curl is going to be where you're outside of your left ball. The left hand side of your ball is going to be just over the ring on the left hand side. So again, this is going to be played at a plus 10% elevation with a quarterback. We finally figured out hole 7, and you're going to be using a Power 3 Wind 4 ball. If you use a Wind 5 ball, it might play differently. Here we are doing max backspin, no left or right spin, and you're going to be aiming your shot one light square above the pin and in the corner of that light square. So the top left corner of that square, just about a quarter in, and the higher the wind, we think, the more left you are going to do, and the lower the wind, the more right you are going to go. So this is also going to be played at a plus 20% over adjustment at your shot at maximum distance. So again, it's being played at max distance with a plus 20% over adjustment. After the shot, I will show you a screenshot of where the target is. And again, when you have higher wind, you're going to have to go more left, and if you have lower wind, you're going to have to go more right. So again, we are going with full backspin, no left or right spin, and then we're going to be aiming at the left-hand corner of the first light square above the pin. Now, if your wind is any lower than this, I would suggest going in a little bit more, but I don't think we have seen anything lower than a 6.3. So again, it's going to be a judgment call, but you're going to be the first light square up in the corner, about a quarter in, and then you're going to over adjust your shot with a plus 20% over adjustment at maximum distance of your club with an 1159 pull. For hole 8, I'm actually trying to get into the 360 range. So I'm going to be doing 4 right spin with 4.2 top spin. I'm then going to over adjust my shot with a plus 10% over adjustment. If you pull into overpower on your adjustment, do a little bit of overpower as well. Here I played my thorn at absolute min distance and just spun my ball to the hole with 1 right spin. So your spin will vary here if you get into this range, and you can play at absolute min thorn. If you do get into absolute min thorn, you're going to spin basically to the hole with your ball guide going through the hole, and then you're going to over adjust your shot with a minus 10% elevation. So here I played it at min thorn with a minus 10% elevation, and we do have yardages if you would like to use the 2.9 backspin 1 right spin method. We do have yardages for that spin as well. Credit Peter Johnson for this shot again on hole 9. Our yardages are working as well, but this is an option that you can do. You're going to use about 6 top spin with 2 left spin and aim down the middle of your fairway. You're going to over adjust your shot with a plus 10% over adjustment and then push up to max. And if it's not the tailwind, you are going to use about 2 rings of overpower. If it's the tailwind, I would not use any overpower at all, as I have gone long, and it made for the second shot to go not as planned. So here again, if you are not pushing up to max very much and it's not the tailwind, then use about 2 rings of overpower. But if you are in a tailwind situation, don't use a lot of overpower. For the second shot, we are going to be using max right spin this time instead of the 5, and then we're going to go with about 2 bars of backspin, but your backspin also might vary. What we are looking for is to have the red ring into the back of the rough, and your second bounce is going to be on the fringe. Here I just didn't have the angle because I was at a weird angle, and I wasn't able to spin my ball. So you want to be more left of the fairway and not hit a great right, basically. So try and get yourself on the drive to the left of the fairway, and then you're going to play at the slider percentages with a plus 15% elevation. So the slider percentages I will show you of the full right spin shot at the end of the clip. If you have a Thor 6, you're going to be using full top spin with 2 left spin aiming down the middle, and then you're going to adjust your shot with a plus 10% over adjustment. Here I made the mistake of doing too much overpower and I went a tad long. Here I set up at absolute min distance of my sniper, not realizing that I was in a tailwind and had no room to adjust. So if you find yourself in this situation, look at your app and do 15% over adjustment of your shot and count how many rings you need to adjust. Move up those rings and then do full right spin and as much backspin as you need to be just short of the hole, and then adjust your shot. So here I should have done that. I did it at the last minute, but I was running out of time, so I didn't adjust very well. So as you can see, I ran into the min line, so then I pushed my shot up and didn't account for that, and I didn't do enough backspin. But I still did my shot with a min distance with a plus 15% over adjustment, so that is correct, and the slider numbers will be provided after the end of this video. All these shots can be found on the 19th Hole Expert Tournament page, and the link will be in the description below. Check out Peter Johnson. He is an excellent streamer, and his link is also in the description below. Thank you to all the Spider Ladies and everybody for the help on this tournament, and good luck this weekend, guys, and go kill it. Remember, hit perfect.